Now today is Freedom Day, and happy Freedom Day.
Yes.
But can we really celebrate freedom when so many of our citizens and our people, and many of the people in this community, still live in poverty? 30 million people in South Africa living in poverty. And can we remember that day in 1994 when we had all that excitement and we had all that expectation, and we went and we queued up for hours because we thought now that freedom was here, it means we're going to get houses, water, electricity. But we sit here 28 years later. Ayikho imanzi, ayikho umsebenzi, ayikho igesi, ayikho ikhaya. For 28 years, people have been promised that just next week, just next month, just next election, then I'm going to get you your promises. Unamanga. Unamanga. And I visited people today, a lady that I saw this morning, who's been waiting since 2015 for the house that was promised to her by government, and it hasn't come to fruition. Ayikho. And I was with people today who've been promised water and they've built a borehole, but ayikho imanzi there. Not one drop. Not one drop of water there. People have got to drink water with animals in this community, and people are getting sick because they're drinking water with animals. And so we know that real freedom comes from having jobs, from having work where you get an income. We know that real freedom comes from having a clinic that has water so that it can look after you properly. We know that real freedom comes from having your own house where you can raise your children and you can keep your family safe. We know that real freedom comes from being able to support your family. And I want to tell you that I've met so many people in this community, and I've looked at the figures. A lot of people in this community exist on grants. And grants are important. And I want to tell you that there are people that lie and say the DA will take away the grants. Well, I'm here to tell you today that not only will we not take away the grants, we'll pay them better and we will pay more. Because when you stop stealing the money and stop eating the money yourself as some government, it means you've got more money to spend on the people of South Africa. And isn't that what we want? We want the money spent on you, not the Premier, not the Mayor, not the politicians, on you, the people of South Africa. That's what we need here in the Eastern Cape. And so, I've also spoken to many in the community who are living on grants. And the reality is that electricity has gone up more than the increase in grants. The cost to get to town, I'm told, was 25 Rand one way, 50 Rand return.
Yes.
Now when you're earning a small grant, 50 Rand is a lot of money. And when you add to that to the fact that our food prices, ukudla, it's getting expensive. Oil, it's gone up. Ushukela, up. Isinkwa, up. Ubisi, up. And people are now having to buy less food and trying to feed the family with less food, because now the grant doesn't go as far as it could have, because food is too expensive in South Africa. And people are now not buying meat. Ayikho nyama. People are now buying pilchard. Pilchard, that's all that the people can afford, is a pilchard. That's all people can afford. And it's not right. Our people must eat meat. Nkuku, nyama. That's what the people need to eat. But this government is taking away the money from the people and it's eating it. And you know, do you know there's 7,500 children, Abantwan, they die every year from hunger because they're not getting enough food. 7,500 of our children are dying, and they're dying in hospitals here in the Eastern Cape. Not because they've got a disease, not because they've got a virus, not because of corona. They're dying because they are hungry. There's no food at home to feed our children. But how can that be? How can that be? During COVID, our government spent 1.4 billion rand. Billion, not million, billion. On parties, catering, food, and hotels for the ministers and their staff. 1.4 billion while our children are dying on the floors of hospitals in this country. Amasela. This government is stealing your money, and it's giving it to their families, and it's leaving your families poor and hungry and starving. We need a municipality here as well that's going to deliver freedom for people. A municipality that delivers electricity and water. It's not right that our gogos have got to walk for kilometers to go and get dirty water to bring home, to cook and to clean and to bath and to drink. It's not right. That's not freedom. That's not freedom. It's not freedom when you don't have a solid roof over your head when the storms come and the rain comes. It's not freedom when you can't get anywhere because you don't have a job. It's not freedom to watch your children leaving the towns and going to the cities because there's ayikho msebenzi. That's the problem. And we can change that. And that's the story I'm coming to tell you today. That there is hope. We don't have to live in slavery like we're doing. We are slaves to our government. There's no freedom. We are slaves to our government. We are working for the politicians and government when they should be working for us. They work for you. You are the employer. You are the boss. And they're treating you like you work for them. Amasela. And we can change this. We can change this by using our power. And the only power we have as ordinary people, and that's to use our vote. We can vote for change in South Africa. We can vote against poverty. We can vote against corruption. We can vote against people who come and take our vote and we don't see them for 5 years. They come and make you promises and they say, I'm going to do this for you, I'm going to do that for you. 2 weeks later, they're gone. The next time you see them there is down in town, driving the BMW or the Mercedes-Benz, and they've forgotten you already. That's not freedom, that is slavery. And so it's time for us to really fight for freedom in South Africa. And I couldn't think of a better time to start than this Freedom Day. Because in 2 years' time, just 2 years' time, we can get a DA provincial government here under Premier Naba Banga. Isn't that what we need? Isn't that what we want? A DA government that's going to deliver like it's delivering in the Western Cape, where people have water, where they have housing, where they've got access to services, where everyone has a clinic within walking distance of their homes, where the police keep people safe, where people have access to good schools, where our children are learning properly, not mud schools that fall down every time there rains, or sitting with pit latrines that our children fall in and die in. That's not freedom. That is slavery to a government that doesn't care. And so we've got that chance. And I'm urging you all, 2 years' time, use that vote and let's make South Africa free from this government that stopped caring about you. So who's with me? Are we fighting for change? Are we going to bring change in 2024 with a DA government at national level and a DA government at provincial level and a new DA administration right here in your municipality? Are you with us? Yeah! I can't hear you. Yeah! Are we going forward? Pansy, Amasela, pansy. Pansy corruption, pansy. Pansy unemployment, pansy. Forward to the future with the DA with work. Forward. Forward to the future with the DA with good schools. Forward. Forward to the future with clinics that make you better and make you healed, not making you even sicker. These are the things that we can get. Viva DA, viva! Viva! Pambili DA, Pambili!